Today's project, we're going to be using the Etched skull transfer. Start by putting the words on a piece of cardstock, and then we're going to put the skull on a piece of chalk suede. Once the skull is dry, we'll fussy cut it out, and that just means that you'll cut around the edge of the pattern, leaving just a little bit of an edge. If you choose, you could always use the skull chalkable shape instead of using the chalk suede paper. Next, I'm just going to draw out some lines to make a crown shape and then cut that out. You can get as intricate as you want. I just tried to make it as simple as possible. And then once everything is cut out, I'm going to use some little distressing inkers and go around the points with the distressing inker and really define those points. If you choose, you can embellish the crown however you want. I had some beads and I just cut a length and then glued them to the bottom of the crown that will go closest to the skull. I attached the crown to the skull using hot glue. Just make sure that when you're doing this that you let it set up and that you don't burn yourself. Again, you want that hot glue to have a good attachment, so make sure you give it some time to set up. The base of this project is using the letterboard and the letterboard font. Determine what word or words you want to put on your letterboard. I always write it out, and then what I do is I determine how many of each letter I'm going to be needing, and then I will do multiple of the same letter on the different tiles. I hope I explained that correctly, but basically if you had 3 I's, you do all of the I's. If you had 2 Y's, you do all of the Y's. That way you are basically assembly lining all of the tiles for your letterboard. Once all your letters are done, then you need to make sure that you let all of them dry before you slide them into your letterboard. I wanted to make sure that I had all the letters done and that the words would fit. So here I am just sliding the words into the letterboard. I realized I made a mistake and I did too many of one letter and not enough of another, but it's easy. I just wiped it off and then pasted on that letter that I forgot. The final thing I wanted to do was to make a bow, and so I grabbed out some fibers and some smaller ribbons, and then I made a pretty bow with this purple velvet ribbon. And then I'm going to attach the fibers and smaller ribbons to dangle down from the center of that bow. I'm going to add some flowers and other embellishments to the bow, and then I will attach everything to the letterboard. I really like how this turned out, and I hope you like it too. And it's been so fun customizing these letterboards for holidays and other occasions.